Silent or all hands checked. Friendly reminder to turn your phone off or silent.
We're just going to come over by you.
Okay. Reminder is going to turn your phone to off or silent, okay? Phone's off or silent this time. Okay. My phone is out, right? That's good.
Before he comes out at my, I was walking up the stairs in the basement. Amy's thing was not working again. And she did eat that. She does that light switch thing and cuts off the circuit. She's like, hey, robot. So I was walking up the stairs and light switch downstairs. And before I was like, oh.
There's sunshine in the heart of me. My blood sings in the breeze. The mountains are a part of me. I'm fellow to the trees. My golden youth till the day I die. Welcome, everyone. My name is Angela Woosley. I am a certified celebrant, and I am so honored to be with you today as we remember and celebrate the life of Cole Dilly Haugen. We gather here with raw grief and numb hearts. We come together at the end of a roller coaster that might have felt like it never would end. Now that it's done, what are we left with? You may find yourself experiencing a dizzying number of emotions. Sadness, anger, guilt, relief, confusion, exhaustion. Whatever you're feeling today, we gather here to honor it, to support each other, to comfort each other, and to find hope for the future. We have lost an incredibly special person. Cole is a loving son, a brother, a grandpa, a cousin, a nephew, and a dear, dear friend. But in addition to that, he was tender, caring, creative, funny, observant, clever, and almost more than anything, a nature lover. From an early age, Cole spent the bulk of his energy playing outside, biking, rollerblading, disc golf, and eventually ski jumping, which he did for more than 8 years as part of the Minneapolis Ski Club. I'm seeing those pictures of how young he was, jumping off of God knows what. That's energy. There simply weren't enough sports and activities to match his boundless energy. In his mom's words, he had a good time all the time. Outside, he could be free and find true happiness with the wind in his hair, the sun in his face, and fresh air filling his lungs. Being active was part of his true nature, an adventurous, energetic, kind, and free spirit. After graduating from the School of Environmental Studies, he went on to earn an associate's degree at Inver Hills Community College in nature studies. In his free time, he could be found hunting and fishing with his grandpa and cousins in Aiken, spending time on Lake Michigan with his friend Thomas, working a summer on the Wisconsin High Bridge, or sharing his love of nature with young campers in the Whitefish chain of lakes, where he was a camp counselor for several years. His love of nature also made it easy for him to fall in love with it. But I understand he went directly from high school graduation to Bonnaroo. That kind of sums it up, doesn't it? Music was obviously a big part of Cole's life, and his family has offered a couple of songs today that really capture Cole's spirit. I'd like for us to be able to reflect on Cole's love of nature, adventure, and travel while we listen to No Other Way by Jack Johnson.
It's all that we need when we wait, when we find a mountain we free to go to sleep and know that if we knew all the answers, we knew all of the things that happen, 'cause we told each other there is no other way.
Cole was loving and tender. He was a talented artist, doodling and drawing in his free time, and he loved his family, really deeply loved his family. He looked up to and adored his older brother Trent. He loved his younger sister Kia. He cared for his dad through his illness and decline. He loved his mom Sherry and her husband Bob so much. He was their wedding photographer. He treasured visits with Grandma Haugen, cherished spending time with his grandparents and cousins, and his close friends knew that they were family. Heck, even the cats were family, curling up with his calico cat Lisa, or loving on his roommate's cat Spooky. If he loved you, he would care for you no matter what. His mom remembers the tender moments at Thanksgiving that he spent holding baby Lemon when he met her for the first time. There is no joy that compares to that. But we know that Cole's life was not without struggles. Depression and anxiety made him feel so low, so alone. Depression was the start of the struggles that stole Dilly from us, little by little. For someone like Dilly, in love with the world, yearning to be free and find adventure, adventure was crippling. Depression was crippling. It reminds me of the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. It starts all alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot from your left. Well, I think we've all mixed up our right foot with our left sometimes, and Dilly was certainly no exception to that. But time and time and time again, he would try to get right, try to get straight. He was always working to overcome his problems because he wanted to get better. He told his mom, "I don't want to be like this." So he kept working to get clean, to get back to his true state of being, in love with the world and at peace with nature. Cole probably felt like he struggled alone, but we know that's not true. I know you all felt the pain of his struggle too. Seeing someone you love strain to be free, reach out, witness their highs and lows, their ebbs and flows, and feel like a helpless bystander. It's heartbreaking. It's exhausting. And as a result, you've likely been grieving the loss of Cole for years. He felt, but he wasn't alone. Sherry mentioned how many people have reached out to her in the last few weeks to share their grief. And she said that Cole probably would have been surprised by how many people care and love him. Sometimes we can't see the love and support that's all around us. We know he loved you deeply, but depression, anxiety, and addiction became a curtain around his reality that just wouldn't let the light of your love in. He wasn't alone. You were with him. On the Thursday before he died, Cole sent his mom the next song. In many ways, it feels like a letter to his mom, to his brother and sister, to the world he tried and tried to redeem.
Well, I had a dream, stood beneath an orange sky. Yes, I had a dream, stood beneath an orange sky. With my brother standing by. With my brother standing by. I said, brother, you know, it's a long road we've been walking on. Brother, you know it is, such a long road we've been walking on. And I had a dream, stood beneath an orange sky. With my sister standing by. With my sister standing. My sister said, here's what I know now. Here's what I know now. In your love, my salvation lies. In your love, my dream stood beneath an orange sky, with my brother and my sister standing by, with my brother and my sister standing by, with my brother and my sister standing by.
When I've thrown off the weight of this crazy stone, that's when I miss you. You who are my home. Cole tried so hard to throw off the weight of this crazy stone, but it finally proved too heavy. But now, he is finally at rest, rejoined with the world that brought him so much happiness and peace before depression and addiction stole that from him. Now our hope is that he's reunited with his grandma, his cousin Nathan, his dad. We know he has no more struggles, no more pain, no more sadness. He's free. That curtain has been lifted, and now he lives on in your memory. When you think of him, you keep his spirit alive. When you share memories of him with others, you keep his spirit alive. Every time you seek adventure, feel the wind in your hair and the sun on your skin, you keep his spirit alive. A close friend of Sherry's, Ellen, gave her a copy of the following poem, and to me, it sums up the home that Dilly now has within us. I heard your voice in the wind today. I turned to see your face, and the warmth of the wind caressed me as I stood silently in place. I felt your touch in the sun today. As its warmth filled the sky, I closed my eyes for your embrace, and my spirit soared high. I saw your eyes in the window pane as I watched the falling rain. It seemed as each raindrop fell, it quietly said your name. I held you close in my heart today. It made me feel complete. You may have died, but you are not gone. You will always be a part of me. As long as the sun shines, the wind blows, the rain falls, you will live inside of me forever, for that is all my heart knows. I'd like to take a moment to pass out some baggies. If you don't have a garden, please take a baggie anyway. I'll explain later.
Just kidding.
One more. What you hold in your hand is life. It doesn't look like much, right? It's wrinkled, shriveled, papery. It looks like it's fallen apart. But if you cover this with soil, water it, and give it time and patience, by the spring it will transform. By the fall, it will again look like it's dying. But by the next spring, another transformation. I want you to care for these bulbs. It's the perfect season to plant them. Planting instructions are available after the service. If you don't have a garden, connect with someone here and combine your efforts. Plant these bulbs, start a garden together. Plant these, water them, care for them, and be patient. As the seasons change, they will transform. But it's not just the flowers I want you to care for. I also want you to care for each other, support each other, water each other, care for each other, and be patient. If you do, over time, we too will transform. Right now, your grief might feel the way these bulbs look. Hard, cold, ugly, hollow. But if we tend to each other with the loving care and kindness we have, our grief will transform. Our grief will experience seasons. It will grow and fade, ebb and flow and change. Our grief, our love, our lives transform into something beautiful in the tender hands of one another. When you leave here today, I want you to water each other. Please join me by repeating the refrain, we remember him. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember him. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember him. In the opening of the buds and in the warmth of summer, we remember him. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of fall, we remember him. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember him. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember him. When we are lost and sick of heart, we remember him. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember him. So long as we live, he too shall live, for he is now a part of us. We remember him. We carry on today and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow with love and grace and peace. We know that grief is a journey. It is our journey, and that every journey has its twists and turns. We believe in our strength and courage to carry us through the hills and valleys ahead, and we know that we are not alone, even in the darkness of night. May the days to come be filled with an increasing peace. May the memories of Dilly be a blessing and a comfort to us. This is our wish, our prayer, our hope. Let us go in peace and keep alive the memory of Cole Dilly Haugen. And I do have a few more bulbs if anyone is feeling very fancy.